I honestly don't even know where to start with this game. I mean, I've played plenty of real-time strategy games, among them being Red Alert 2 and StarCraft, but nothing comes even remotely close to the kind of experience one gets when playing XCOM. It's a very simple game in concept. I mean, it's basically just aliens are attacking and you're part of a government agency trying to stop them. But the execution, the presentation, the gameplay, it's so polished, I guess is the best word I can use. The game is incredibly polished and knows exactly what it wants you to be doing and paying attention to. I believe I got this game during a Steam sale some years ago at the recommendation of some of my friends. And the first time I booted it up, I didn't really get into it, but I don't think I played that far. Maybe 2 or 3 missions, and that's including the tutorial. The game itself, I don't know why it didn't grab me back then. But then I started watching Pro Jared's playthrough of XCOM last month, and it made me want to pick it back up, and I got really into it. Now, this isn't one of those instances where I 100%ed the game, because actually, this game is incredibly hard. I never played the original XCOM, so I have nothing to compare it to in that regard. But this game specifically stands on its own as far as how difficult it is. You can adjust the difficulty, but it doesn't really seem to matter a lot of the time. The game likes to rely on the random number generator to basically make your experience either really lucky or really hellish. And I think that's actually one of the game's strongest points. It's unpredictable, it's uncontrollable. While it's a real-time strategy game in the vein of games like StarCraft, the execution for this game puts it on a completely different level. Games like StarCraft and Red Alert and Command & Conquer, in those games, your survivability depends, for the most part, on skill. It's completely under your control. All of your troops are under your control. The only thing you really have to watch out for is, obviously, your opponent and how well they can play. It's all skill-based, with maybe a small element of luck, but mostly skill-based. But in XCOM, skill is a small part of a bigger picture. The game puts you in control of this agency that is trying to stop the aliens, but it puts in multiple different variables for you to deal with that just can be completely unpredictable at times. Your probability of attack isn't dictated by how quickly you can click the button and, how fast things die. It's dictated by the random number generator if your attacks even land, how much damage you do, not to mention that the enemies are under the same rules. They're as likely to hit you as you're likely to hit them, and there are multiple variables at play that completely make these situations unpredictable. The best way to describe it is that when you're playing a normal real-time strategy game, you're the commander in every sense of the word. You're in control of the situation, and the only thing you have to account for is your enemy. But in XCOM, you're the commander of a situation that is uncontrollable. You can try as hard as you want to try and make the best out of the situation, but there are so many factors at play, so many different variables, that every encounter is dynamic, every encounter is different. Every encounter has as much of a possibility to completely end in failure as it does to end in victory. The only thing you can do is try to account for these variables the best you can through preparation. And the game kind of tugs that line of preparing for the future, but also having to deal with the now. And honestly, I think that's part of the reason why the game holds up so well. It's a living, breathing battlefield. There are highs and lows, and you don't know how it's going to end. It's not purely skill-based. You have to hope that your shots hit, or that the enemy shots misses. That's why so many people enjoy watching XCOM playthroughs, because no matter how skilled you are, how prepared you are, ultimately, failure can happen to any commander on the field. And a lot of the times, the most skilled players are the ones that get hit hardest by it. If you haven't tried XCOM out already, I suggest you do so. It is, honest to God, an unforgettable experience. At the very least, I guarantee you that you'll go through one hell of an emotional roller coaster when you hit your first mission that goes to complete shit.